who's the draft prospect that you are falling for right now, rom-com style? Let's go. Who we got?
It happens. Like 8 days out, you're like, wait, this is the guy I stand for. This is the one. And I think Derek Stingley Jr. is becoming one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I'm falling for him.
Lifehouse.
In Lifehouse, I'm falling for him. Look, all of the talk has been sauce, but no person in this draft at any position had a better season than Derek Stingley had his freshman year at LSU. Take a look at his first year at LSU, before the injury, before Eddie Ogeron was blown out of that place. Consensus All-American, second-team All-SEC, SEC All-Freshman team, and he led the SEC with 6 picks. And he went up against, Jamar Chase and Jordan Jefferson and all of those great, talented wide receivers out of LSU. And the word that everyone says is that this guy's footwork is just incredible. Now, you say Stingley, yes. His grandfather is Darryl Stingley, whose career was shortened because of a spinal injury when he was with the New England Patriots. And it was a horrific ending to a great NFL career. His son, Derek Stingley, went on to be a baseball player, did not go into pro football. And now Derek Stingley Jr., who I think might be a top 10 pick. And guess what? Might go as high as top 5 the way this draft is so wide open. No one has had a better one season of college football than this young man, and it was his first season out of the gates. I'm fascinated to see where he goes because coming off an injury and people aren't sure if he's 100%. But in this kind of draft where there's no surefire number one, he might be that guy that goes up and goes in the single digits.
But it was all sauce, saucy, the whole time. And now all of a sudden, Stingley, what's going on? Did something happen with Sauce that he's losing some of his sauce?
This is what happens. There's always that other prospect. It's not just going to be that late riser. And I'm telling you, Derek Stingley, a couple years back, did some things against some really great teams. And against some really great wide receivers that I think people are watching the tape now and they're like, well, I'm not in love with any of these guys. At least I know Stingley did it at the biggest stage.
Yeah, turning 40 can change a lot of people. You're off the sauce. I get it. There's a lot of great pass rushers in this draft.
I didn't say that.
And
That's
everybody is falling in love with Hutchinson, with Thibodeau. It's like, all right, who's the best one? Look, Shregs, you fell in love with Trayvon Walker. He leapfrogged both of those guys.
Yeah.
There's a pass rusher coming out in this draft that I am head over heels for, and it's Jermaine Johnson, the Florida State Seminole. All he did was lead the ACC in sacks last season and tackles for a loss. It's got an interesting story, Jermaine Johnson, all right? He was, you might remember him from Last Chance U. It was a Netflix documentary about 3 or 4 years ago. He was on that. He had a couple missteps early on, had to go to junior college, was at Georgia, transferred to Florida State because he wanted to be more of an edge rusher. And let me show you what he could do coming off the edge. This guy's got violent hands. He's explosive. He's an O-lineman's nightmare. Look what he does to this right tackle. He spun him around. Did you see what he did there? With one arm, he basically took this right tackle and put him on a turnstile. Watch him run through these blockers here, left and right. Every time you turn on the tape of him, it's him destroying a tackle with both hands. It's a speed rush. It's a power rush. He's got phenomenal speed to power burst. And look, there's going to be a team. I think you got him going 7th overall in your mock draft. Jermaine Johnson, when you had against the run, like you try to block him with a tight end, forget about it.
Where do you have him going?
He's throwing him 3 yards into the backfield. This guy, every time you turn on a different game, you're like, all right, well, that's his best game. Then you go to the next week. Oh, my gosh, he was even better. The guy doesn't come off the field. He's got an unbelievably high-energy motor. He's got that big energy, if you will. And I love Jermaine Johnson. I'm glad I don't have to try to block him.
I got him going 12 to Minnesota, but that could be as far low as he could possibly go. That's like the basement. I think he might go top 10. Atlanta, number 8, might make a lot of sense. Giants at 7 could make a lot of sense. He was at Georgia with all those guys.
Yeah.
Transfers to Florida State and goes on to be the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Cool story.
You said head over heels. You're just a Super Bowl winning offensive lineman standing in front of an edge guy telling him to love you.
Yeah, a little bit.
I thought you picked one of the big, ugly, nasty tackles. Yeah. You picked a defensive end.
Yeah, I'm going Jermaine Johnson because as an offensive lineman, when you watch film, that's like the first guys you're looking at. It's like, all right, who do we have to block? This guy's a nightmare. And if you're watching the guy and you're like, this dude's just killing guys and you know you're going to have a headache after the game. Yeah, that's something that gives you nightmares and leaves you sleepless sometimes in Seattle.
I want to be sleepless in a wildly different way. I'm not looking for love. I'm looking for lust. Give me somebody.
Let's go.
You want that.
Give me some passion. Adventure. Let's do fireball shots and wipe swap. Let's go. Give me K-Bomb, baby. Give me the hottest player in the draft. Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon, if you want to do it a million different ways, put on the Pac-12 championship tape, and the guy looks like a younger, slimmer Reggie White, who's incredible. The talent is there. He thinks it's absurd that he's not looked at as the number one person in the draft, which I also love. And then there's this business. Oh, the quotes. Blah, 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 blah. Peter put them on our radar. Let's look at Kayvon Thibodeau's quotes that are having him plummeting down draft boards. All right, so blah, blah, blah. Do I want to be a national champion, work for the greatest organization in the world? Look at the second part of it. There's a guarantee that if you play football at Oregon, which he chose over Alabama, he can work in the corporate Nike world. How dare this young person is thinking about his future after football? We want them to be all ball all the time. Guys, he's setting up a career for himself. I think that's fine. Moving on. There's nothing a coach could tell me I don't already know. That one's tough. Next one.
That one I can't really defend. I don't know.
I'm like Jadeveon 2.0, right? He's not saying he's Jadeveon on the Seahawks or Jadeveon changing teams every 10 minutes and filling Good Morning Football with boring, lifeless segments where we don't want to talk about him. He's talking about Jadeveon destroying the entire Michigan football program as he blows past Taylor Lewan and destroys the running back in the backfield. And you know what? As far as that coaching thing, maybe he's just hyping his college coach, Mario Cristobal, or maybe he's saying, look, I run a 4.5, I'm 275, but what do you want to coach me? I'm ready to go. I don't think these quotes are like, we love this guy. He looks like the best player in the draft. But he said someday he might want to work for Nike. Boo! Let's take some guy. I love this dude, and I love these. A little dangerous, a little hot, a little adventure. I'm way into it. It's like I want to draft him with a safe word. Like, I don't know where the night's going, but I know it's not going home to watch, House Hunters on the couch, which is what I do. I want something nuts, and somebody else will early. I'm talking Detroit. Peters does the thing. I'm going to your mock again.
Yeah.
You had Trayvon going number 1 to Jacksonville, and then your take was Michigan or Detroit runs to the podium to get Hutchinson. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
If Hutchinson goes to Ohio State, do they still want him just as bad? Because that Michigan thing is I hate that.
I know. You're not a fan. For the viewers, Kyle doesn't like this. Kyle's adverse to well, he played there locally, so it's a great fit. And Kaya said it too. So what? It's the NFL. The second
it's adorable.
Yeah, well, like at Ohio State, Taylor Decker plays for the Ohio State guy. They like him. It's all right. It doesn't matter. But I got Thibodeau going 4, but he can go 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, Thibodeau could go 2. That would be incredible.
I don't mind Thibodeau at 1.
I don't either.
At all.
Yeah.
Based on pure talent and who cares. Emmanuel Sanders had it perfect.
Okay.
He goes, those quotes, if they come from a quarterback, I'm terrified. I don't want any. The defensive lineman, the edge rusher, he's got some chatter to him. Who cares? Go get the quarterback, dude. I love him.
Hot and lust is what you're after,
God.
but does it last is my question.
Maybe
I'm at a point in my life, gentlemen, where I want consistency.
Okay.
I want something special, impactful, meaningful, and it doesn't matter how great it is. All has to be the right fit, the right timing, the good and look, I've grown up. Isn't that great? And that to me, if I had to throw in one of the quarterbacks before the draft, during the draft, after the draft, it is Malik, because to me, he is so special on the field. He has won over everybody else off of the field. So Malik Willis, unbelievable special guy. And if you put him in the right spot, if it's the right timing, the right fit, he, to me, is going to have the most success in the NFL. And where you have him mocked, Peter Schrager, not only in your 1.0, but your 2.0, and I really hope for your 3.0, which will come out hopefully sometime before the draft, you have him at 20 to the Steelers. I like this because you know how I feel about the situation. Relationships depend on that. And if he's there with Mike Tomlin as his guy, and he's there, I like my rookies where they don't have to start right away. I like when they get to sit back, maybe not the whole season. Who knows how Trubisky will look over there. We wish him all the best. But I like that situation for him. And if I had to throw in with anybody, it'd be Malik Willis.
Yeah, there wouldn't be this great rush for him to start day 1. But if he was on the Carolina Panthers, there might be. If he was on the Atlanta Falcons, people might want him over Mariota. But I don't see that with Pittsburgh. I think Malik Willis might have been the winner of pre-draft season, that he charmed a lot of people with his personality, and not in a fake way, in a real authentic way. But also people went and did a deeper dive on the stuff that he did, and his arm was so gifted. Kate, he can go as high as number 2. This is a guy who could go in the top 10, or he could fall a little bit just because there's so much unknown based on what he did at Liberty, which is not Auburn, where he wasn't the starting quarterback.
So Stingley over Sauce, is that what you're saying?
At this point, this draft, anything can happen. And I say that with despair because I'm the mock draft guy, but it's kind of the coolest draft we ever had, that it's not in stone and it's not in pen. It's wide open. And it's going to be interesting to see how many people tune in, because I think there's more